welcome to NameHero. I'm Ryan, the founder and CEO. In today's video, I'm going to show you the easiest way to install WordPress here in 2021. So WordPress is the world's most popular content management system, meaning that it's the easiest way to create your own website or to redo your current websites in a manner that looks professional, operates in an easy way, and also loads fast and ranks high in those search engines. So at NameHero, we specialize in WordPress cloud web hosting at very affordable rates. Now, I'm kind of continuing on this video in a series I'm doing on the complete web hosting account setup. And to make it very easy, I call it for the non-guru. So if you're just getting started or if you've never had a website before, you should be able to follow through these video series and easily have your website online. Now this video is assuming that you don't have an existing website, that you're just starting one from scratch. And even if you do have an existing website, this video may help kind of show you just the proper ways to set up your account so you can go back and tweak anything to make sure your website is optimal for your audience. So in my previous video, I highlighted our web hosting accounts here at NameHero, and I went through each one and kind of showed my recommendations based on your needs or based on what type of website you're creating, or maybe if you're a business and you're trying to sell products, which plan is best for you. So feel free to go to our YouTube channel to back up one from this one and watch that. This video is going to highlight more of, assume that you've already set up your account, and then go into how you install WordPress the easiest and fastest way for 2021. So if you're following along, the first thing you want to do is to log into your account if you haven't already. So I'm going to start here. I'm on NameHero's main page here, just namehero.com. So I'm going to click on account, and I've got our login screen. So I'm using our demo account here, and I've got a really strong password. You'll notice this is our two-factor authentication. If you have not enabled this, if you just started your account with us at NameHero, I highly recommend doing so because that keeps things very safe. Basically, I have an app on my phone here that provides a unique 6-digit code every time I log in. That way, in case someone gets my username and password, which of course we hope they never do, but if they would, they still cannot get in without this unique code. Let me grab it off my phone here. And so every 60 seconds, this code resets. So I'm not scared to show it on video here because this will expire here within the next minute. Okay, so I'm now in my account. Now, for those that have not activated two-factor, all you do is you go up here and click on your name. So mine says NameHero. And then you go down to security settings, and you can enable it right here. So mine's already enabled, so it's the red disable box. If yours is not enabled, it'll be a green box, and you can click to enable it and just follow the instructions. It's super easy. You just have to download the Google Authenticator app on your phone, which can be found in the iOS App Store or the Google Play Store for Android. Okay. So this is our main dashboard, and what I'm going to want to do to begin the installation of WordPress is navigate to my hosting package that I've already set up. And again, if you have not, you can follow my previous video and see how to do that. It's under my cloud, and I've got several, so I'm going to use this search box to type in my domain for my example site, and it's webloggy.com. So I'm going to click here, and this is our Turbo Cloud package. It uses our NVMe high-speed servers. And so we can get all the information of the account just right here. Now, in my previous video, I was assuming that I still needed to set my name servers up. If you registered your domain new with us, you don't have to do this step. In my case, I already had my domain. I just needed to add the hosting. Your name servers are what connect your hosting to your domain. So you might already have a domain. Maybe you bought it at GoDaddy years ago. Maybe you bought it at another web host years ago. And you just need to connect your hosting at NameHero. Well, that's all done by just updating your domain to use these name servers. Once again, if you register your name with us, which I recommend if you're starting a new website, just register your domain with us and we'll do it all automatically for you. But if not, that's what makes the connection. If I go to webloggy.com, you can see it's my DNS was propagated successfully, meaning that I updated my name servers properly. You can always go to dnshero.com, which is our free tool, and put in your domain. So if I go to dnshero.com and I just type in my domain, which I'm going to paste it, you can see it returns these name servers, and these should be the same ones here, which it does. You'll notice an error here. This is a false positive. I'm not sure why that's coming up. The glue is certainly set on those. But you can ignore yellow most of the time. And you're just looking to this returns your name servers, and you're not seeing any red. You can also use intodns.com, which is another popular tool out there just to check your DNS. And again, no red, so we're all set. Now, we offer free and automatic SSL. Unfortunately, some customers really want to overcomplicate this, so I'm going to try to put this out as simply as possible. Once your DNS propagates, SSL automatically generates. So you can see in my browser window here, the lock is here. And I haven't done anything but sign up for my account in the previous video and set my name servers. All you have to do is make sure you're typing in https:// and then your domain. And then this should pop up once it's propagated. Now, it takes a couple hours after it's propagated to all generate, but you can see it's certainly there. So there's no manual intervention required. You don't have to log a support ticket. You don't have to do anything. Just have some patience and it'll automatically generate. But now, since I don't have WordPress on my site yet, which I'm going to show you how to install, these are just default files and folders, okay? These are created by cPanel, just default error documents. So you don't have to worry about these. These are just created for you. It makes no difference. You just leave those as is. Okay, so now let's get down to installing WordPress, because I'm going to show you that this is so easy. We've made it so quick and easy regardless of your experience level. The first thing we want to do is we want to go into cPanel. cPanel, look at that like your mission control. That's where you can add files to your website, add email, create email accounts, add email accounts, check your email, pretty much do anything inside of cPanel. Add another website hosting or anything you need to do with your hosting account can be completed in there. So this button right here, log into cPanel, and we also have another one right here. So we have it in two places, so it's easy to find. We'll send you right in there. Okay, so now I'm inside of cPanel. And there's tons of different options on here. So don't let it be overwhelming to you. You're really only concerned right now with WordPress. And each time you go in, you can just quickly type in what you're looking for and it'll eliminate these. So like if I just start typing in WordPress, you'll see some stuff come up there. But I need to just start default here. And I want to scroll down to the bottom and go under Softaculous. And I want to click this WordPress right here. Okay, so this brings me to the app installer, and this is going to allow me to install WordPress in just a couple of clicks. And again, it doesn't take any previous experience to be able to install WordPress. It's not hard. Just click here to install now, and we're brought to this form. Okay, so before we get started, if you look here to the right, there's a quick install box. If I click that, it basically just eliminates some of the fields. And this is actually pretty beneficial because it just keeps it even simpler. So if I go back here, I've got the full install. And if I click here, I get the quick install. I'm going to go to the custom install. Since I'm doing a video, I want to highlight each one of these options. So if you just rather go through this even easier, you can, but I'm going to explain each option here. Okay, so first off, you want to choose what version you need to install of WordPress. It's always suggested that you install the latest version. So right now, the latest version of WordPress is 5.7. When you watch this video, it might be 5.8, 5.9, or whatnot, but you always want to choose the defaults, which is going to be the latest one. The installation URL, remember, we have HTTPS, okay? This is what makes it use secure certificate. So we want to make sure we use that. I personally suggest using the www because that's going to make it even easier when I go to help you set up your CDN. We offer a free content delivery network to speed up your images and your static assets on your site. And when you go to set that up later, it's going to rely on that www, and it makes things so much easier. So by doing this early on, you're going to save yourself a lot of confusion later on having to change things. Okay, I only have one domain in my account, webloggy.com. Now remember, my hosting package allows for unlimited domains. So if I had a different one in there or set up another one, it would be in this list. But since I only have one in my account, that's obviously what I select. In directory, most of the time you want to leave this blank. This is if you want to install WordPress outside of the home directory or outside of just your basic public HTML directory, meaning that when someone types in your domain, they see your website. If you want them to type in your domain and then a slash, like whatever directory, maybe /blog, then you would put that here. But I would say most of you do not want to do that. So please just leave that blank. Okay, my site settings and description. You can configure this later. So if you know right off the bat, what you want to put here, you can change it, to Ryan's website or whatever your store or blog is called. But I'm just going to leave this default because it's super easy to change later. And once I see it, I can, see where it's placed on the site, and I can go back and modify that. Okay, admin account. This is a really, really important part of the installation, and I feel like that it gets skimped on too much, or people don't take it as serious as they should. The admin account is how you access the back end of your website. This is how you're going to create your website. Add content, add posts, modify pages, change the theme. So essentially, this username and password gives someone full access to your website. If you're selling products, that means they're going to have full access to modify your products. They're going to have full access to your customer data. So it's very important that these are strong. Meaning don't use admin and password, or don't use obvious things in here that someone could guess. Now for username, you can make this a little simpler, but just don't use admin. So I could use, for example, rgray12, okay? And I'm going to just copy and paste this over my other window so I have it for future reference. Ideally, that's a password manager too. If you have OnePass or LastPass, definitely the best place to store this information. Okay, admin password. Again, you want this to be random and strong. I'm security paranoid, so what I like to do is copy this and then push the key again and then paste. I gotta use my keyboard. There we go. Now that's a strong password. See, 100 for 100. I'm just gonna put this noted here so I don't lose it. But this way, there's a highly unlikely that someone's going to go guessing rgray12 and this password. Okay, so that's going to keep me secure. Single most effective security tip is right here. At NameHero, we do a lot in terms of our security shield and protecting your website, but you can really help us out a lot by just doing this. Trust me, you're going to save yourself a headache 10 times over by just making this strong. Okay, admin email. Make sure you have access to this email address. In case you forget this, which is random, so that you could, make sure you enter a valid email that you can go reset this if needed. Admin at Webloggy, this is the default, so yours will likely be admin at whatever your domain is. I can change this here to simply Ryan at NameHero. All right, language, I speak English, and so that's what I'm going to use. Now, if you speak another language, feel free to change it. WordPress has tons of different native language packs. Okay, select plugins. So let's talk about what is a plugin. So WordPress, that's content management software. It's a CMS. It's the platform that runs your website. It's the platform that displays your site to the world, but also has this back end that allows you to create posts and pages and make your design and do everything in your web browser, meaning you don't have to download any software. It's all done through your web browser on your computer. Plugins extend the functionality of WordPress. This is what makes WordPress so popular. This is what allows you to have a storefront or certain plugins for themes. This is what allows you to have contact forms and all that stuff. So it expands the functionality of WordPress. Now, by default, you have some options when you install it. One, limit login attempts. Loginizer. This is a good plugin, but at NameHero, we already provide this on our server level. So there's no need to add a plugin unless you have a valid reason. You don't want to just go adding plugins to add plugins, because the more plugins you have, the more memory it uses, and also the more of a security threat they can become, because you have to keep them updated. So if you just go adding a plugin to add a plugin, that's not good practice. Only add plugins you absolutely need. While Loginizer's a good plugin for security, we already do this at NameHero for you, so it's really, you're adding something that's already done and it's unnecessary. Classic editor. So a couple years ago, WordPress upgraded their editor inside the back end that allows you to design your pages and posts. I love it now. I didn't like it at first, so they still give you the option to use the older one. And if you're using WordPress for any length of time, it's been around for 20 plus years now, you can click this and install that old editor instead of using the new block editor. If it's your first time using WordPress, I would not recommend the classic editor, because eventually it's going to be gone anyways. Select plugins and theme sets. So at NameHero, we've got a plugin set already set up for you. So if I click this information button, you can see Lightspeed Cache, really simple SSL, and WordFence security. Okay, so these are plugins that we highly suggest that you install, and we make it real easy because we let you do it in one click. Lightspeed Cache, this is what's going to make your website even faster than it would without it. So your website's going to be fast without it, but you add Lightspeed Cache, we can easily connect up with HTTP3, which I've got some more videos coming on that. The fastest caching plugin on the market, which caching means it doesn't have to pull, the server doesn't have to pull your website every single time someone hits the page. It can cache it, making it much faster. Really simple SSL. This allows to make sure all of your URLs are converted for SSL, HTTPS. I know there's people out there that try to sell like SSL conversion packages. No. This is free. It's super easy. It just makes sure that your pages are all using that free and automatic SSL certificate. I highlight at the beginning of the video. There's no action needed. It automatically installs and sets up. But this just makes sure that all your web pages, all your images load using that HTTPS. WordFence security. So this is a firewall and a malware scanner. Now, we already do this at NameHero in terms of firewall and malware scanning. We already have you covered in our security shield. I like WordFence because they have two-factor authentication. Just like I logged into my NameHero account for this demo and I used my phone to authenticate with two-factor, WordFence has this as well. So by having a strong username and password and two-factor on your admin area, really you're not going to have to worry about these security issues that we see all the time for people that don't. So we recommend WordFence security for that reason. Okay, so all I have to do is click this box. Now, if you don't want these recommended plugins, you don't have to, but I recommend them and I think you should. So I'm gonna click that box. Okay, now I've got the option to choose my theme. So there's tons of places to get WordPress themes, but these come pre-installed, or not pre-installed, but you can choose one of them on installation and they're 100% free. If I click show all themes, I can kind of see what's out there. Now these are a little bit limited, but these make it really easy and quick to start a website. You know, if you're just wanting to get your site off the ground immediately, and you can just choose one of these predefined templates, and then you can change it later on. But I find this is really helpful if you have an event coming up and you're creating a website for that event. Instead of having to hunt down and do anything else, you can just install one of these. For this example, let's just choose this property broker one. Pretend I'm a real estate agent or something and wanting to sell a property. When you click it, you can see there's a little demo. You can click here and actually go to a full demo or just look through the pages here, like about, contact, home, properties. It looks pretty good, pretty professional. Image copyright. All right, so now I'm ready to install WordPress. And just to recap, I'm installing the latest version. I'm using HTTPS and I like the www in front of it. My domain's webloggy. This directory is empty because I want it when people go to my website to see my website and not have to go to a directory. Site settings, name and description are default. I'm going to change these later on, but you can enter them in now if you want. My admin account, I've made it strong. I use a strong username. And I use a strong password. My password should say 100 for 100, and my username should be should be characters as well as numbers. So rgray12, it makes it something I can kind of remember, but also something that's more random than just admin. Use a valid email address, very important. So if I lose the password, I can get it reset. My language is English, and I'm using the NameHero plugin set, which includes Lightspeed Cache, really simple SSL, and WordFence security for the two-factor. All right. Finally, I can email this installation details. If I want to email myself these details so I know where I put everything, I can. If I have a web designer, developer, or a business partner, I could send it to them. While it doesn't contain anything too private, it doesn't contain passwords or anything, don't just go sending this to anyone. If you don't have a good reason to, then you don't have to email anyone. Send it to anyone. Okay, once I'm satisfied, I just click install. Now this takes really about a minute, sometimes 2 minutes to run. It's going to install the theme we selected. It's going to create the database. It's going to put all the files as well as that plugin set. And you can see once it gets going, it really gets going. All right. So congratulations, WordPress was installed successfully. Man, that's quick and easy. So now if we go to our blog, webloggy, remember we just had the blank page before, we should now have our fully functional website. There we go. My blog and property broker. So check that out. Looking pretty good. I mean, wasn't that easy? I mean, in less than 15 minutes, we have a professional looking website set up. Remember, we went from nothing to something, and it hasn't even been 15 minutes. Okay, so now let's go back here. Administrative URL. So now we can see that's our website's created. It's online. We can launch it. We can send it to friends and family, but it still says, property broker. It needs to be customized. So we're going to customize this inside the administrative URL. Short is WP admin. So webloggy.com/WP-admin. So when I go here, this is where I control all the content, the design, everything about it is inside of here. Now, if I'm logging in for the first time, I can click through here and I go right to it. You might have to enter your username and password that we created on the installation. It just depends on how long you let that page sit, if you can log in directly from there. Okay, but anyways, this is the dashboard to WordPress, and there's a lot of stuff in here. So in this video, I'm not going to go through every step of setting up, the specifics, but pretty much everything you need to do to your website is going to be in here. But where I want to concern right now is going to plugins and installed plugins. Okay, so the first thing is WordFence, which is what we set up for security. And remember, I like this because at NameHero, we have our security shield. The security shield handles most all of your security. But WordFence allows you to keep up with plugin updates and also add two-factor authentication. So I love it. So first thing I do is just enter your email address so they can keep you updated with the happenings on your site. I don't like mailing lists, so click no, and then their terms of service. It's 100% free too, by the way. They've got a premium key. You don't need that. No thanks. You don't need the upsell, I promise. We handle all the security at NameHero, but it's a nice plugin to get alerts and enable two-factor. Okay, so now we can see our plugins that are installed. The first thing you're going to see, if you did the really simple SSL, it says ready to migrate to SSL. We already set up this new WordPress installation using SSL, but this is going to make sure your theme, your plugins, and everything has SSL connected to it. You can call it like an SSL migrator. So just click go ahead. It's just going to activate it. Okay, there we go. So now it's activated. Now it says there's still, check if your website is secure by following this article. There's still some other suggestions there, but everything is set. And there's some additional settings that I can put on here, such as enable the 301 HT access redirect and all that kind of stuff in there. But default, just leave everything as it is for now. Yeah, go back to general. Or I'm sorry, go back to plugins and installed plugins. Okay. So now, Lightspeed Cache, that's set up and enabled. I've got the default settings on, so I don't need to modify that further for now. I'm going to do another video and go into all the specifics. Page layer, this came with our theme, and Popular FX website templates. This came with our theme. So if you didn't install the example broker theme that I installed, you probably don't have these plugins, so you don't need to worry about these if you don't. A really simple SSL, again, don't worry, there's nothing else that needs to be done. And WordFence security, we just want to enable two-factor auth on that. So let's go do that. Okay, so WordFence login security is what we're going to go to. And we're introducing WordFence two-factor auth. You can read through these directions, but I'm going to close through and just show you how to do it. So all you have to do is, remember we created the I showed you in the beginning, you should have NameHero two-factor enabled. As long as you have it enabled there, you can take out that same Authenticator app, and all you have to do is open your Google Authenticator app. I'm going to click the plus, scan QR code, and take a picture of it. Now, I just have to enter the 6-digit number. Activate. You want to keep these. In case you get locked out, you're going to need these download recovery codes. So please make sure, in case you lose your phone or it dies, you're going to need these codes. So make sure you download those. Bam. Put that on your computer. Keep that somewhere safe. All right, so now when we go to log in to WordPress, I'm going to log out. Copy my password. Okay, so now I'm going to use log in. There's my two-factor. So now I'm going to go into use my Google Authenticator app and grab that 6-digit code. All right, so now I'm back inside of my WP admin. This is it, folks. That's all you need to do to install WordPress very easily, have plugins on it that are going to make it fast, safe, and secure, set up two-factor, and now I'm off to create my site. If I go here and look, I can start changing all this stuff around. I can add pages and posts. I can modify anything I need to do right inside of here. I can add more plugins. I can collaborate with my team. But my website is online, safe and secure, and it's ready to use. So I'm going to do other videos on how to configure specifics of Lightspeed Cache. The default settings of Lightspeed Cache, it works fantastic. However, if you want to enable some features like HTTP3 as well as the global CDN to make your site even faster, stay tuned because I'm going to have another video for that. So everyone, thanks for watching. I'm super glad you're here with us at NameHero. If there's anything I can do, feel free to let me know. Please make sure if you like this video, we appreciate a thumbs up. That lets me know, hey Ryan, I liked your content and I want you to produce more of it, as well as subscribing to our YouTube channel. So at the bottom of this video or the side of the page there on YouTube, it's an option to subscribe to NameHero's channel. And as I release more videos, then you'll be the first one to become notified. So when my next one comes out about HTTP3 support, you'll know that it's ready and you can go watch and follow along. So thanks a bunch for watching. I am Ryan. I'm the founder and CEO here at NameHero.com.